What is up, everybody? We are now live.
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody is coming in. Um, there we go. We got people coming in from TikTok and everywhere. Glad to have you guys in. Welcome to another stream of Crypto Morning Chat with Bobby and Sal here, or Cody and Sal. Cody and Sal. So sorry about that. I do run a moving company. It's been very busy for me, so we haven't been on the last 2 days, but we really appreciate you guys coming back in. We've got a lot going on, a lot of things for this live. So we're really great to have you guys in here. We know we're a little late, 2 hours later than our normal time. But hey, if you guys can come in, like and subscribe, we do this every day. Normally 8:30 a.m., but we're going to be 9 a.m. soon to give a little later start for you guys, so more people can join in for us. So welcome in, glad to have you in. We already seen some regulars popping in today. So, and with that said, also we have our What's in Your Portfolio every Sunday at 9 a.m. Central Time. We also are live on all platforms, including Twitch and Rumble. Also, if you guys want to watch the replays of every live, they are on YouTube as well as Rumble. So we're going to go ahead and get this started. We got a lot to talk about with XRP, Quant, a lot of potential action, price action that's going on. Right now, as you guys can see, the markets we're still kind of trading sideways on these markets here. So let me go ahead and just pull this up here real quick. But I know Cody has some thoughts and things about Quant and XRP,
I have
talking
one
about
thing.
the CPI
I
index we're going to be talking about soon. But go ahead, Cody.
have one thing I want to say about Quant. So 2 days ago, Quant released an article on their website about a milestone towards making it simpler. So, a common complaint for businesses building on blockchain solutions is that public chains charge gas or transaction fees to perform functions. Um, it makes businesses have no choice but to hold crypto on their balance sheets to cover the cost. But Overledger makes it to where they'll no longer have that problem when deploying their own tokens. Instead of having to hold crypto to pay for deployment gas fees, Overledger users can pay with platform credits, which are charged in fiat. So pretty much it makes it to where these big enterprises and businesses, they don't have to hold digital, crypto on their balance sheet, pay for gas fees.
Yeah, that can definitely help and help everybody save money, especially if you are doing some day trading or quick trading and you don't want to be paying so much fees. That's definitely a good potential down there. I like what they're doing with the Overledger, but what I don't like is, of course, as always, nobody's really a fan of CBDCs, and that's what Quant is really working on with central banks. As I have it
Exactly.
pulled up here, they're at the discussion: is Europe ready for CBDCs? I don't think the world can ethically use CBDCs yet. I mean, I think there's too much politics and too many people that want too much control over everybody's financing and where they're spending their money and what they're doing with it and things like that. So I can't see this being a positive thing. It's not going to have positive sentiment from the crypto world and the people who've been longtime crypto holders, because
Exactly.
most of us are in this because we want financial freedom, not to be going in the other direction.
Exactly. And that's what Quant does. It's just all about CBDCs mainly, and bettering the CBDC.
Yep, and but they're helping with quicker transaction, tokenizing real world assets, but then you know it's kind of like, I don't know if anyone's ever saw like that the anime that was on Netflix with Cyberpunk, um the where the kid didn't pay rent, and so they locked the doors on his place. Well, just imagine, like, if everything was that connected, tokenizing real world assets, that's a potential outcome that can have. That you don't pay your mortgage, or you could say something that the party in control of the government doesn't like, and they lock you out of your house, your bank account, your food, access to food, everything. You completely become an invisible person. So
Exactly. That's what it enables them to do. It gives them the possibility to do that, just in case if there was a disaster to come like that. It gives them
mhm.
possibility, and it just gives too many people. I mean, it gives a small amount of people control over what a lot of people do.
Oh yeah, and it's like I just don't see. I see it coming. I know it's coming. It will be. It will be happening. Shout out to Live and Learn. Good morning to you too. Also shout out to Caddy, and I do see in here Big Dog. Thank you guys for being back. Or is it? And oh my goodness. Shout out to I saw you in here, buddy. I know. Oh, Bud267. Glad to have you in here as well. Welcome back, guys. Glad to have you guys in here. Definitely some good news. Shout out to Martin. Welcome into the stream. Glad to have you in here. Waiting for it to go up. Exactly. Definitely. Definitely I want quant to go up, but I'm very leery of CBDCs. But it's kind of one of those things. It's going to be coming. It's going to be coming. I don't I know it's coming. Like I'm just very leery of how it's going. Now, if we had more politicians of good principles and sensibilities, we might have a chance for CBDCs not to go negatively, but there's just too much control involved. Shout out to Crypto Dream. Hey, thanks for the support there. Glad to have you in here. I think I've already, yep, already made one of our good moderators there. Glad to have you in here. Shout out to Austin, American Gonzalo Lira has been arrested by Ukraine for justifying Putin's invasion. He got 5 to 8 years. Um, Yeah, that's a scary thing too, because Ukraine has a lot of things going on. I have a feeling we are headed to probably the biggest. I mean, I don't. We're not really a geopolitical panel, but finance can't help but to be involved in politics. But I just have a feeling because I don't go either side. I don't care who sits in the chair. I just care about making money. But I have a crazy feeling we're going to see one of the biggest scandals come out. And you know what's funny? It's going to be because FTX and SBF trial. That's what it's going to be. Things are start going to unraveling because he's going to start to see the wall, and he's got to spill some major beans for the prosecutor not to want to be bothered with him and go out. And I think he does know something. I
Yeah,
think
he does.
something. So Ukraine. So shout out to Caddy. Ukraine is the biggest laundering scheme. It definitely is. You had Trudeau send over $500 million into Ukraine while his damn country was on fire. That's terrible. Like that could have done so much work in preventing the forest fire, but no, just send it over Ukraine. We don't like you to have guns. We like to give your guns away. That's your slogan for them.
Yep.
So I'm all for any amendment that's in that Constitution. I am all for it, and if you want to carry, go for it. It's your right. I do believe in learning how to shoot. I actually took lessons from a guy locally here, and I still go to a shooting range a couple times. But he was a former Navy SEAL, and he teaches people how to sharpshoot. It's pretty cool. Shout out to Martin again, and Crypto Dream. Shout out to Martin FTX. He needs to be in a cell with nothing in it. Exactly. I think many people just want the worst for him. Shout out to Leon. Welcome into the stream. Glad to have you in here. Thanks for your support. Economic economist makes the best decisions. Yeah, theory only. Why couldn't it work? The theory works on paper, right? And shout out to Crypto Dream. We appreciate you too, buddy. Glad to have your support and everything in here as we go with this live. So thank you so much for your support there. But I mean, I think that's enough fear mongering of CBDCs and world crises. So, I mean, And also, guys, I also want to say I forgot to mention if you guys the last stock pick, I did a video of it. It's live on Patreon. So if you guys wanted to check that out real quick, you can join Patreon. But also, it'll be live on YouTube next Monday. If you guys have another good one for the video, you for another stock pick video or crypto pick video, certainly shoot it out to me. I will definitely see which one I can make a video out of. So really appreciate it. Shout out to Martin. Only for the ones that lost millions him. I'm guessing to him. Okay. Well, the thing with FTX is we're not even done with all the scandal that happened with it. We think it's done, and the populace has forgotten, but the populace is going to be reminded of him.
Yep, because right now it seems like everybody's forgotten.
Yeah, it's like he's swept under the rug. It happened. People lost money. They're moving on, but I have a feeling it's going they're going to we're going to hear some crazy news and it's going to bring people's attention right back. Let's go to KuCoin. I just want to pull up the chart on KuCoin.
But one thing that's scary is you have Quant tweeting things like, oh, they don't care. Central bank digital currencies, they don't care how much you spend on a sandwich, for example. Like what they mean by that tweet pretty much is they don't care about your regular day-to-day purchases, which I think is BS, because if a CBDC has that much control, then obviously they do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just one of those it's just one of those tricky things. It's like there's a lot of benefit, but there's a lot of harm that could come with it. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, just like anything.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Martin. Bitcoin is the best for now. Yeah, Bitcoin is the one thing they cannot control in the crypto market, so it makes it a little hard for them to control or regulate or do anything with it because you can't even sue Bitcoin because there's no particular person to sue from the SEC or FTC or anybody's standpoint. So with that being said, it's just I know that Cody and I were just talking about this earlier this morning about how there are some people that are trying to make it so that crypto is an asset for accredited investors, and that would destroy the possibilities for anybody to get in on it.
And retail's a big mover in the market too. So if it was just institutions, I mean, they wouldn't be benefiting that much either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's they wouldn't be because you need retail investors to drive up prices. Shout out to Caddy. Every day I wake up and buy a nibble of BTC, $8 cost average in. Um, Even right now, even if a Bitcoin drops 20%, it's in the long term it'll be making so much more on Bitcoin just in the long term. And right now, Bitcoin's going to become as scarce as quant, where people won't be able to buy it because big institutions and exchanges will want to buy it to keep it on hand in their accounts. And with the ETFs coming, and with other companies bringing ETFs on board as well, it's looking like Bitcoin's going to become very very scarce in the future, just because more people want it and more people can't get it. So it's just going to be very interesting to see where we're headed on that. Um, if we go back to going back to quant a little bit though, but I wanted just to go and check out, like, we're still holding that $100 range, although Cody and I are waiting for this big drop. I'm hoping for a 15% drop so we can get down to 85, but it'd be nice if we can get to those 60s. Um, I still think quant is I still like to have quant in my portfolio for it. I'm just very leery of the CBDCs, but you guys know my motto: wherever the smart money is going, that's where I got to go. I got to try to go with them. Let me bring Cody back in here.
Oh, my bad. It was sounding robotic for me on your end. But yeah, I agree. You know, BTC is getting a lot more scarce, and it will be. But the thing is, the thing concern I have with it is the ROI. Like, ROI is being diminished a lot, and that's why I like ETH, and other things.
Exactly. Shout out to Live and Learn. No problem. We'll try next time there for you. I just try to bring people in when they can. You can just get other perspectives. Especially a lot of you guys that do share a lot of good information, and you guys definitely have good thoughts too. Shout out to Martin. What do you think of ETFs? Stock ETFs are good. The concept is like to own it without owning it, so it makes it more accessible for people who don't have a lot of money to get in, nor the knowledge. This is why stock ETFs are very popular. But Bitcoin ETF, there is a little bit more risk involved, but it would be good for the overall crypto market once those ETFs go live. Um, Cody, do you have any thoughts on the Bitcoin ETFs or things like that?
Yeah, it would definitely bring a lot of institutional demand for it. I would see it as like a positive effect for the social view of it.
Yeah, I definitely would see quite a bit of a volume for of just any crypto going up. But unfortunately, a lot of new people they get into those meme coins right away. So we'll have to see how the ETFs will affect the cryptoverse. But overall, I think it's a net positive, and it could be a good thing for a lot of people to invest in. Shout out to Leon. AI stocks still an opportunity, or would that move to be exit liquidity for those that entered sooner? Um, AI right now is a hot topic just in general. So AI in stocks or in crypto is just blowing off the charts. Um, there are some that may not make it, so you might be that exit liquidity, but there are some companies that I like. Microsoft is even moving in it very slowly and steadily, but they're moving into it, and Google as well. So like it's going to affect their prices as well.
Right now is the beginning phase for all of that. I think in the next 10 years we'll be a lot more advanced when it comes to AI, and
Oh
we'll
yeah.
see it a lot more in our products. But right now, like when Microsoft and Google and all that, this just the very beginning for AI.
And right now, it's just really just we're really in the ramp up stage, but there is a bubble growing with it, so you might want to get in and get out as quickly as possible. But however, I myself, I have private equity shares in Cerebus, AI company, so I'm investing on the back end, not really in stocks or in crypto on it. But there's a lot of potential for it. Like Cody said, in the next 10 years we'll be far better off with it. I think right now we're just doing quirky, silly things with AI right
Exactly, like the Chat GBT and all this little stuff that you see. That's all that's happening right now.
now. Shout out to Wally Newberg. Glad to have you in here. I'll sell you quant at $60, one for one half quant. Appreciate that, Newberg, but glad to have you in here. I'll wait till I can get it off of uphold there for 55, which is pretty good. I just want to shout. I'm not paid to show uphold, but I've noticed out of all the exchanges, uphold has the lowest arbitration out of them all. So if you see it at like if you see like let's just say dot at $5, they're gonna retail you at five. They'll buy it off you at 510 and they'll let you buy it at 515. Whereas like if I go to crypto.com, it would be like 525 for me to sell it, which is a little better, but buying it it's like 530. So it's always significantly higher. So just keep in mind of that as you guys are dollar cost averaging. Shout out to Martin Vanguard. What do you think of Vanguard? Do you do S&P 500 stocks? I don't. I do have like a flatlined investment with Wealthfront and Betterment, where I just put money in and just let them do their thing on managing my money. But individually, I do have almost 20 stocks I individually invest in. I don't have them pulled up here. I'd have to go pull up my statement again. But I'm invested in a lot of blue chip companies as well as some more risky companies and good amount of finance and tech in there. But most of it's dividend growth. So I hope that answered. 60 shout out to Wally Newberg. $60 quant would be sick. Yes, it would be. I'm saving a lot of cash so that if we do see those lows, I'll be definitely buying in. I know Cody will be definitely aggressively buying quant if
Oh
it got
yeah.
60.
I
It'd be quick to get to your target on that. But Cody has some thoughts. He's kind of aiming for what'd you say this morning, like a 55 60 quant.
Yeah, I expect things to kind of go sideways for now, but then closer towards the end of this year, I think by fall or around November, we're going to see kind of like a downturn. I don't think we're going to go back to 15K. We could, but early 20Ks, ETH at 1K, sub 1K is 1200. That's what I expect. And if it goes to that, then we'd see quant at like 60. But I'm mainly buying
Mhm.
ETH and Quant, and this would sound crazy to most people, but I'm actually planning on buying no Bitcoin, not because I don't like Bitcoin, I love it, but it's mainly just because the ROI that I'm concerned with. I'm young, I have a lot of risk. I'm 22, almost 23, so it's like I see more potential ROI wise with ETH and Quant. With those two and Polkadot and
Mhm.
I'd rather put my money towards those three than going all in on, BTC or ETH. I'd rather just have ETH and a couple other alts.
Yeah, and a small portfolio is usually the way to go to keep it well centralized and controlled, so you can know what your exit. You're only managing like 3 to 5 picks instead of trying to manage 20. It's a little easier.
Yeah, I don't like that shotgun approach. That's why I like two or
Yeah,
three.
exactly. Shout out to Leon again. Sweet. I heard about Chat GPT early December last year, but didn't think about investing. So I am wary. Yeah, some of them are a little wary. I've recently, in the last few months, been using Chat GPT to do like higher postings. My schedule, like my scheduling, um, articles for like employment articles, things like that. Like I don't use it for a lot of really. It's just a lot. It saves me time on writing out business profiles, writing out advertising, search flyers, things like that. I find it very useful, and it does it better than I even type. And I've been told I've been pretty good. People think a lot of the marketing that we do, that my family does for our own businesses, seems to looks like it's professionally done. So, but we started using Chat GPT, and it made everything so much better. But it's not like an be all answer. Shout out to 710. Good morning to you too, buddy. Glad you are in here. Welcome to the stream. Shout out to Caddy, Coinbase versus Uphold. Honestly, I like them both. I use them both, but I use Uphold mostly because one, I've already built up a relationship with my bank on them, so they don't block a lot of my payments. And me withdrawing from Uphold as well, like selling off profits. But
I like CB a lot.
Coinbase is a coin. I do have Coinbase stock, so I'm pretty long on Coinbase in the long term. They have a lot of good. I like Coinbase's approach to helping new people get involved in crypto
Yeah.
because you make it in like a nice gaming, like informative format, so that way more people can get involved, even if you're not tech savvy. Out to Wally Newberg. I'm glad you're just kidding, but my wife and kids are sold. Yeah, whatever we got by any means necessary, right?
That's funny.
Out the caddy. I'm a shotgun investor. I put money all over the place. Um, I don't. Here's the thing. I consider shotgun if like I see a portfolio of like 40 coins or more sometimes, but I also like I don't consider it shotgun if you have like crypto, stocks, real estate. You got a couple businesses that you either own, run, or are like part owner of. So like I don't see any of that being like a shotgun investment. Actually, I think that investment approach is really good. Build up one bag and then slowly build up the others as you go. So that way, in 10 years, you don't have to. So you don't have to worry about one cash flow losing. You always have an even steady cash flow. Shout out to Wally Newberg. For the record, the plan would be to eventually buy them back. Hey, I appreciate that. I'm sure they do too. but
Buy
but
them
all
back.
jokes aside, yeah, we do want to make sure that we put in as much as we feasibly can, money that we won't miss, even if we lose it. So, you don't want to. You don't if you're only making 2,000 and you're trying to put 1,000 away, but you got like 1,500 in bills, then you don't want to put 1,000 in and have to sell it and take it back, and then go back and forth. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure you're able to invest it and leave it. That's the good thing. That's the path that you want to take. But we haven't even talked about XRP yet.
Nope.
So let's talk about that because we're not seeing the price action that a lot of these degenerate price predictions that people have been putting out has happened. Shout out to I Newberg. How do I consolidate? Just research and choose, or keep putting small amounts into a bunch. Um, if you already have like a bunch, let's just say you have 10 cryptos there, Wally. If you do the research, if you really do like fine tune research at your dollar cost averaging into them all, and you say, hey, look, these three are not worth it anymore to me. I think now that I understand them, then just slowly reduce down to like 3 to 5. That are your best, the ones that you believe are your best bet to your future financial success or your future gains for your crypto portfolio. And then you can slowly build it back up. Like I stayed at 5 for the longest, and really I had 3 that I was just focusing on. But then as my portfolio grew and my income grew, I started putting in more and more into other categories. So now I'm up to 9 tokens that I invest in consistently. But let's just talk about XRP here. I mean, about 2 weeks ago, I remember the volume being close to over a billion. Now we're sitting at coming down to it's like 641 million, but
700.
it's coming down, and we're getting to that half a billion mark. Um, I'm not sure when this is going to be, but I do have a feeling we're going to see low 40s, maybe even high 30s on XRP price because unfortunately, this is how it is. There's a lot of good news about the crypto. People are still waiting on the case, people are still unsure, and the paper hand people are getting kind of shaken out. So, like the weak minded people are getting shook out so that the ones who are really diamond hand investors are kind of like, hey, look, I'm just going to be dollar cost averaging in. I'm doing more degenerate trades in, in. So I see us getting some downward price action, but I do see I do see a positive action going going forward on there. Like I do see us getting to at least maybe a buck 20 once all the good news really hits and the momentum starts going, but that's probably about as high as I see in the next 6 to 12 months if everything goes right. Shout out to DB. I'll catch some more on that sale. Absolutely. Because if it hits 35 cents, or even if we get down to, I mean, a wonderful deal of 29 cents, I would be degenerately investing just nonstop. Shout out to DB again. 30 cents, anything I'm racking up. Exactly. Um, 30 cents and high 20s is a strong push. We would need like a 40% drop on everything. But You never know; anything could happen. I'm also thinking though about. I'm thinking realistically, like 40 cents, maybe 38 at the lowest. If I go back here and look at the chart here for day, it's like we kind of shot up several months ago and we just been kind of hovering in this range. So we got as low as 42 cents in like mid May, but then we're down here. So it looks like this might be the new low and it could go up, or we could just be slowly trending down. Because if you look at the buy and sell orders, it should be trending down, but it's not. But then again, you had a lot of big whales buy 1 billion XRP. So who's to say? Who's to say what's going on? I don't know. What are some of your thoughts? Oh, there, Cody just left. We'll get him in back in a little bit. Um, because like I see Will's buying it, but even though right now you're seeing a lot of sell pressure, like someone sold 10,000 XRP, which really isn't that much, but you got 20,000 no bought, 3, 5, 6. It looks like people are dollar cost averaging in right now as we're just going down, but it looks like we're going to see a new price. Let's take a look at the 50 cents. Yeah, we're going to see the 46 and 45 range again soon. So it might be a good chance to just keep dollar cost averaging in there and just keep going until you get to wherever you want to be. I'm not planning on having it as much. I'm not planning it to have as much as some of my other ones, but it is up there with my Ethereum backs. It's about the same on that level. But as soon as it does make some gains, I'm going to cash out. I don't see it going any higher than 550 for you. So I was like, but I do see people making cases for $10 a coin, $100 a coin, 250 a coin. I just don't see XRP getting to that level. Like that's just a hard thing to. Now, real quick, I do want to talk about is the CPI data. Oh well, before we get
Sorry, it keeps booting me out.
that, no worries. Well, glad to have you back in. I just got done with my thoughts on XRP. Do you have any thoughts on that before I go into CPI data?
No. So far, I mean, it is looking good for XRP, but I mean, we're just gonna have to keep waiting because at the same time, it does look a little iffy.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, we got someone happening here in the chat. Sorry about that, buddy. I did not see you there. DYO. The only saving grace is rich that is get rich enough that the rules don't apply to you like they don't apply to them. Why would it go back to $60 for the quant? So sorry about that, buddy. We missed that. And shout out to Wally Newberg. What about 200 by 2030? 200 XRP by 2030 has a strong case, but at the same time, we'd have to see where we go in the next 4 years for me to be able to give you a good price in the next 7 years. I honestly don't know. Like there's tons of rumors about XRP being bought out by the government to be the basis of a CC coin and international settlement coin. So I mean, it's hard to say because like if the government does that, woof, my goodness, they're just gonna buy it at some absurd number just to get it off market and get people to put it in there. But I would say my guess is maybe $80 to $100 by 2030 as a conservative estimate. But I have some people that are with my business that are like in my business network that are looking for XRP to be like $500 then, which would be crazy. But we'll just have to see. Right now, I'm anticipating $1.20. Let me go over here. Shout out to DYO waiting for the XRP has an opportunity cost. it's certain it certainly does. But like I said, I don't think we have to wait too much longer, maybe 2 more months before we start seeing negative price action on it. Uh, and why would quant go to 60? I think it's just going to follow the market. And if we get a good 20 drop, we could see usually a 35% drop in quant as it shakes people out. And that'd be a good time for us to get more in there.
My question is on the XRP lawsuit. It's like, how long does it? Because it's almost been 3 years. This year.
I think it should, I'm thinking and hoping it gets wrapped up in August. Just maybe early September at the latest.
Yeah, or they're gonna try to push it out to like December.
Because with that it could cause a nice rally. So you never know what might occur. Um, but we'll have to see. I do know that it's coming to a conclusion. It's just a matter of time. Just gotta be patient. A shout out to Cali Crypto. Glad to have you in here. Welcome back, another one of our great followers. Uh, what's up, Bobby? Pleasure to be here. Yep, glad to have you in here. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Shout out to Wally Newberg. Hard to predict the future. I can't do it for shit. I certainly understand. I'm usually 80% of the time I'm usually wrong. I just have to accept it. Fed now. Shout out to Calico. Fed now. Fed now. ETF and court case. You think all goes down this month? I think that we're going to get a lot of that done this month or the next month. The ETF is going to be coming within the next few weeks. The Fed now, it's going to happen. And what the crazy thing about the Fed now is it's probably going to happen very quietly. Like we're not going to know until well after the fact that it happened.
Yep.
Shout out to Logan, glad to have you in here. Yeah, good morning to you too, buddy. I hope you have a great day. Yeah, it's been a while because I do own a moving company and I had all hands on deck Monday and Tuesday. So I've been running around. My body is sore because I did out in the boonies move. So, a lot of heavy lifting up gravel, gravel walkways and things. Like I so much energy doing that. I was like, I couldn't do any streaming when I got back at around Fox. So that's my apologies, but like I said, I do try to squeeze you guys in where I can. Um, Shout out to Cali Crypto again. Fed now pilot on the 20th of this month. It's happening for sure. Yeah, I've heard it's everything. The test, I think it was like last week that they tested everything, so they could get it's well on its way. And how is it gonna? We'll just have to wait and see how it affects the markets and everything. Shout out to DYO. Remember, XRP holders have to put SEC's lawyers' kids through college, and that's going to cost a lot. So don't expect the case to end anytime before that. That is true. Lawyers only represent you. They're win cases. They're just there to represent you. So remember that. The only in law are the lawyers and the judges because they all get their pensions paid. Shout out to I Am Him. There are a lot of support resistance for BTC at around 35K. I think that's where we're going before pullback. I'd be right. There's so much buying and dollar averaging into Bitcoin that it's not dropping to 29. So it's been holding that 30K line for a long time. And like I said, some degenerate to push down the price. Like something negative is going to have pop it, and then it'll go down, and then that might be the new bottom of like 20K or 21K. But that's only if that news, and the news can never happen.
I see
So
a 8,000 to $10,000 Ethereum. Within the next 2 years. To be honest with you, like in 2.5 years at most, we'll see like a 8 to 10,000. 8,000 is my lowest conservative mark. 10,000 is my highest for ETH.
Well, yeah, if Bitcoin gets to 100,000, then ETH is going to be right around 10, maybe 11. But you guys also got to remember, every bull run, more and more average people join in on crypto. Some leave, but more and more gain. It's like a net positive
So
for
next
more
bull run,
people.
there's going to be more people in it than there was in the 2021. Because not only that, a lot of the people on the sidelines in 2021 that didn't want to invest or join the market, they'll see that it came back. They'll see, oh, so in 2021 I missed out. I didn't want to invest, but it's now back in trend again, and it's actually going up. Like, I'm here to stay
Exactly.
this time.
Exactly. Shout out to Logan. Glad that you just started welding school. That's definitely a trade that's in high demand. I know it's hard to even find just a spot welder to moving trucks sometimes. So, branches be killing me on those boxes. But welding is definitely a needed thing. So I wish you the best of it. I hope you learn a lot, and it's a great career move for you. Shout out to 710. Good money in the moving business, especially in 2020. Yeah, the latter half of 2020 was really good, but the beginning half was not, as people were scared and not knowing what to do. But when it came time, like 2021, 2022 were just booming years, and that's how I expanded. And then this year has been as kind of a slowdown. So, but it's a bubble. It was a bubble. It was bound to burst at some point. Unlike everyone else, I saved my money and expanded my business and used and got into other assets while the going was good. So now I'm in a great position to where it's kind of like I'm loading a magazine, and when the opportunities come, I'm just going to snipe them out. So like that's how I view it. Um, Shout out to Sergey Banger. Glad to have you in here as well. I'm waiting on XRP one day max to see if we dump or pump. It's right at the edge. Yeah, it's just hovering at the edge, and mostly it's hovering at the edge because it's like kind of how we had negative price action in 2020, where it just kept going down and down because more and more big bags are selling. Well, now we have big bags buying, and so every time it starts to go down, big bags start purchasing, and then it levels out and goes up a little bit. So we'll have to see. If they stop, we may see that nice dip, and I'll be definitely getting in there. Shout out to Sergey Banger again. ETH is trash for gas fees alone. That's not even bringing up the ETH gate. It's true. The gas fees are terrible on ETH, especially trading other assets on ETH. But it is what it is right now. Until someone makes an ETH killer, we'll have to wait until then. Shout out to Cosmic Comic. Pulse Chain is helping gas fee issues on ETH. Pulse Chain airdrop free tokens for ETH holders. Gas on Pulse Chain is like 1,000x cheaper on gas. Trade ETH tokens on Pulse Chain for 1,000x cheaper. I did hear about that the chain that Pulse Chain is a lot cheaper than ETH, but I don't do a lot of quick trading. I do big move trading for when I do long term holds and sell when I feel like I maxed out my profit, which to me is like if I have to pay like a $500 gas fee on like a $500,000 profit take, I'm not too upset about it. But I do understand the sentiment about it, and I do understand where you guys are coming from. It's just a matter of perspective, and it's like it's hard to say. When I sold Mercedes in the past, um, it's like a service on a Corolla is like a couple $100, right? But if you sell someone a Mercedes, the service is like 3,000. They don't bat an eye, even though it's virtually the same process, maybe a little bit more detailed steps. But people like the more money people have, the less they care about what fees they have.
And
That
another thing with the Ethereum fees is it's for security. Like, it makes the network expensive. Like, yeah, it is annoying to pay those gas fees, but the gas fees are there for a reason. It's where the network can't get spam attacked, and it can't get too congested because it'd be too expensive to So everything in life has a double-edged sword, you know.
Hmm.
There needs to be a way to where we can have the security with less, you know, fees. There'd have to be a totally new invention, like development in that, to where we can bridge that gap and we can have security with, you know, less fees. But I don't see that happening for a while. You know, it's gonna take a few more years for that to happen. But yeah, ETH is gonna have some high gas fees, like it is what it is. But it's the layer twos and the layer ones that have the attention right now for that.
Yeah, it's okay. No problem, Cosmic 3. Well, I understand your point too, but let's just put it this way. Let me try to put it to you this way. If you're making $100,000 and you just spent $200, usually most people are like, $200 doesn't bother me. You know, when you're making 200,000 a month, like I don't know how to say it. It's like $5,000 is just like kind of like to me. It's like if I really won't miss it. I really won't. And
Yeah,
sometimes I
it's
even forget that I even put $5,000 into like a different purchase or something else like that. So I'm
for
not saying
Q
it's
and
bad. It's just a nature of when you start making a lot more money that values start to change and you start to see. It's not that you value it less, it's just that you notice it less. So like right now with everything, I'm averaging close to 200,000 a month off of my real estate payments and everything. So to me, I don't care. But like
yes.
if the gas fee was, let's say, was $10,000, I'll probably start to say, well, wait a minute. I'm going to start looking for other solutions. And that's where what's going to happen is as more people come onto the Ethereum network, it's going to clog it up. And of course, gas fees will be 10, 12,000. That's where people will find alternatives. And that's where people will uh, move on that shit, move to other areas, or someone will come up with a whole new solution to either bridge ETH and change that cost or do anything else like that.
I
But
see that happening.
shout out to Cosmos people. So yeah, I understand the majority of people aren't working with that. So that's why I say you got to be very careful and analyze where you're trading and how you're avoiding the fees, because I understand that. And shout out to I am him. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. Glad to have you in. To have your support. But shout out to Cosmic again. But your girls want that money, right? She need new nails and new drip. No, well, let me tell you something. They want equality. Go get your own shit.
Yeah,
Like,
facts,
like
facts.
I work hard for my stuff. You can do it too. If you don't want to, then don't come to me begging for anything else. Go get your own shit.
You know,
Um,
something I was trying to say was,
shout out to Peaches. Amen. Get your own shit. Yep. I'm gonna make that a shirt. Get your own shit. Shout out to DYO. Layer twos use ETH for gas, but also Gwei is low. Yeah, but I remember when in like beginning of 2022, like the Gwei was high too at some point. So sometimes it's just when people just start doing stuff and that you just can't predict other people's
are
action.
you
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cody. What were you
are
saying?
you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh no, oh you're good. What I was trying to say was about the gas fee thing. For example, it's like me with Quant. It's like one day when I'm in heavy profit with Quant, when it reaches like $1,000 or whenever I want to sell it, when I'm in a lot of profit, it's like for the gas fee on that's probably going to be expensive. You know, I see it now, but it's like when I'm up to $100,000 equity sitting in Quant, it's like I wouldn't care about spending a heavy gas fee just to be able to move that to an exchange so I can get my money out, because at that point I'm already in profit. So it's like gas fees wouldn't be that much of an issue for me because I'm probably going to have an expensive gas fee I have a ridiculous amount of quant. I currently have like 52 right now. So that's a good amount. So next bull run, it's like when I sell it, because it's on the Ethereum blockchain, it probably is going to have some gas fees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's I like I said, but you are right on Cosmos that Pulse Chain, it is a layer one. If it's aiming to do that and it's effectively doing it, then more and more people will use it. But shout out to you, crypto cosmic crypto dude. We will definitely go live. Hey, I'm always live on Thursday and Friday. Those are definitely my stays. Um, Shout out to Live and Learn at Peaches. I'm feeling it too. Yep, definitely. You definitely gotta definitely gotta tell people to get their own stuff. But um, oh, I thank you too for Cosmic Comic. There's a new documentary on crypto. I think I did see something about that somewhere. I can't remember where it was. Popped up somewhere.
A document
A documentary on.
a documentary on crypto.
Mhm. So, but I do want to say is like as especially like I know there's like a lot of young men watching Cody and I. Um, it's you got to be very careful about where you guys what you guys do and how you guys act once you start making a lot of money, because let me tell you there are some predators out there and they will snap you up. I
Yeah.
I see it a lot, especially like when let's just put it this way. There's a lady that I'm going to do a partnership for my moving company with because she owns a cleaning company down in the Little Rock area, and it sounds great, but it's like the first like there's two ladies that want to go. One was kind of sensible. That's why I'm going to meet with her to figure it out. But the other one, I mean, god damn. Like the first thing out, it's like I'm not going to Roost Chris for a business meeting to see if you are even going. You're like, no, like we're just gonna sit down, have coffee, and figure out if this is gonna be an opportune business structure for us. Otherwise, so but you guys gotta be careful out there because even with my investor group, like you can see the vultures kind of circling, and I'm one of these
Yeah.
guys in that group, and you could see, and I'm 39. I'm going to be 40 in like 4 months. So it's like you can see them circling. So just be careful, guys. Really understand what the value of what you're creating, and make sure that you pick the right people to be around you in your life. Um, shout out for shout out to Biga787. Really appreciate the share. Thank you, buddy. And shout out to Cosmic Comic. I gave the link. Okay, I'll definitely take a look at it. Shout out to Surgic Banger. Pulse Chain has gas token plus X has 74 million sitting in liquidity pool, which is crazy. Yeah, that is pretty good. Shout out to I am him. Any idea if he'll still be able to claim bonus for holding KCS on KuCoin? I'm not sure. Wasn't even aware that KuCoin had its own exchange coin, but I can definitely look into that for you. I am him. Like I could definitely look into that for you guys, and come back with an answer tomorrow for you. Shout out to Comic Cosmos, Pulse Action Inc. Gonna pump pretty good. Okay. That's definitely where we want to go. Bitcoin halving is right around the corner. Yep, we got less than a year away. Shout out to Wally Newberg, pimping ain't easy. Shout out to Biga787. Thanks for the follow. Really glad to have you in here. And we really appreciate you guys coming in here. We didn't even get a chance to talk about the CPI data yet. And that has some pretty decent news about it, but I really want to explain it too, because a lot of people just see it like, oh, yay, inflation is going flat. And it's like, nah, not really. So let me go ahead and pull that up for you guys. Because as you can see here, now this is off the government site. As you can see here, it's saying that the latest numbers are 0.02%, but and that's for June. But if you really look at it, if you really look at it, because everyone's saying like the July's data is supposed to come out in August, but June's data came out, and we're at 0.2%. But really, if you look here, we're negative 16.7% on fuel, and that's only because the oil reserves are being drained to even out the market. And that's not a good sign. That means we are still in inflation territory, which means no, they did not engineer a soft landing. I don't think they engineered a soft landing, because I think if they do two or three more interest rate hikes, we're going to the economy is going to go down a little hard. But as you can see here, we're still 4.8% up on food. We're still 5.7%. I'm sorry, 5.7% on food, 4.8% on all other items, and then overall 3% up on all major categories on pricing. Now, I will say this, like Cody and I were talking about earlier on in the stream, is that, or earlier before we start streaming, is that like I noticed that like the prices of like ordering out or like going to like Outback or something like that, it started going down. Because like I remember last year, three people was like 250, and then now it's kind of like about 100 for two, or 150, 180 for two people. So it's definitely has gone down, but it's still wildly expensive on that end. Uh, Shout out to Wally Newberg's thoughts on Theta. When you're done, of course, we'll definitely take a quick look at that while we're here. But let's get through the CPI data first. Now, here's the thing that a lot that no one's really talking about, even the U.S. Bureau, is that because of the lack of, how should I put, because of the lack of staffing, businesses, especially like manufacturing plants, have figured out ways to make those plants operate with less and less people. There's actually a guy that was out in Oklahoma that figured out how to automate a chicken plant with 20 people, like 5 cleaners and 15 techs. And that's phenomenal because they normally have somewhere between 200 and 600 people working there. And those were like the go-to places for good. If you wanted a 20 plus hour job, that was the place to go in this area of the South. And those are drying up because they're becoming automated. Now, there's a lot of things. Like I noticed fast food places used to always have like 3 or 4 people at register, like 5 or 6 people in the back, but they figure out how to say, no, we can run this with 3 people. And people will wait. And just like they found out, people will wait a certain amount of time to get their order. And if you take that over to like Best Buy has less people, Walmart has less people, Target has less people. So everything's becoming a little more streamlined. I mean, we're gonna creep our way back up to about a 10% unemployment rate, which is probably where we should be in a mild recession. Anyway, and
10%.
10%, yeah, in a mild recession. But actually, I do see that they people are calling me, so
So we're at 2% right now, right?
I think it was like 3.1%.
Yeah, that's too low.
And yes, as nationwide, that is pretty low. Um, so we'll have to see where we're going, where it's headed. Um, but with that being said, though, I 10% isn't bad per se, because like we had like 15% during 2008. And if it's a mild recession, you have readjustments, people going back to school, people learning new trades, people like exiting out from one sector of the economy, going into entirely different. But what's going to happen too now is everyone that tried to start their own business during the last 3 years that didn't work out are now going to try and join the workforce again. That's what's basically going to happen.
Yeah. What's a good unemployment rate?
Like 5 to 6%. Like there, I hate to say it, but there are people that are just destined not to be employed because they either have poor work ethic, lack of skills, lack of drive. Everybody knows that one person that's like, dude, you just can't hold down a job to save your life. They're
Yeah.
always in and out. They're always having trouble. They're always asking for money. There's always going to be that type of person around in the economy, which is like 5 to 6%, which would really be about like 4.5 million people, according to the census data.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So, and shout out to Wally Newberg. I don't think I'm going to have enough time to do thoughts on Theta, but I'm definitely going to write it down in my planner because I do have to go. Apparently, my detail shop needs me today. Needs me to head over there, so I'll be heading over there shortly. Um, but I really want to get through just some of this CPI data because don't let this scare you, but it is going to scare everyone else once they really understand the data. They're like, oh shit, nothing's really happening. We're still in trouble. They're going to panic sell. That's when we're going to buy in and get a dollar cost average in.
Yep. I'm the DCA police. Like I'm constantly DCA.
So but if you're looking for like, I think consumer goods are going to start rising again. So like TVs, gaming consoles, things you don't need like tablets, app, high end cell phones, cars are definitely what price well beyond anyone's full affordability range now. So it's not about getting a side hustle either. It's just that you just kind of have to wait it out. Like you just have to wait this out, and it's going to be another year before all of this resolves. And unfortunately, if the car market does collapse, because we are seeing more and more repossessions, if it does fully collapse, that'd be good for a lot of us to see some, get some good prices on cars and things like that, trucks. Good for my businesses. I can get equipment cheaply, things like that. Shout out to ShopIt256. Just moved 1,400 Bitcoin on Coinbase. Hey, shout out to you. You've got that type of money. Let's definitely get that off of Coinbase. Um, let's see. I really don't have much else to say on the data other than we're still really at like 5%, a true 5% on a 5% inflation rate. Um, so you got to ignore if you take out the energy. But I do see even fuels going back up. Diesel was getting close to $3, and now we're getting back up to the $4 range. So we might have a rough Christmas, and I think that's going to cause a significant downturn in consumer spending, which is going to set the new bottom for the recession, and then we're going to bounce back from that 6 months later. Cody, what are some of your final thoughts on the CPI data?
My final thoughts is, especially if you're someone like me, you just kind of have to wait it out and just keep doing the smartest thing possible in your situation. Whether if that's keep dollar cost averaging, keep getting your money out. It's like so for people our age, it's like regardless of what the economy or the world's doing, it's like you still have to get up every morning and get it. So
Yep. Just got to keep pushing and keep trying to make smart moves and keep growing. That's
because
all you
that's
can
my
really
goal.
do.
Because I'm doing what I'm doing right now and I see within the next year and a half, almost 2 years, everything's going to be different.
Hmm. Like, don't get me wrong. Like the next 3 years, it's going to be a great economy again. But we also got what is this? This is 2023. So 2024 is the election year.
Yep.
We definitely have some. That could definitely cause some interesting swings as well. So, guys, just stay alert out there. I'm about to sign off here, but stay alert. stay vigilant. Don't invest in anything you don't understand. You know, it really, I do. We were having a good stream. I don't want to cut this short, but I do have to go run my businesses because it is now almost noon. But thank you guys. Glad that you guys are in here. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate all your guys' support and everything, and all that you guys do for us, and we enjoy doing this for you guys. If you do want to support the channel, you can definitely go over to YouTube. The link is in the TikTok bio. Give us a subscribe, give us a few likes on there and shares as well, and give us a few subscribes and follows on TikTok. We really appreciate it. And if you want to do some more supporting, you can definitely go to Patreon and subscribe there. Subscribe there. We do a lot of great things. I was just actually before the stream talking with my financial advisor about joining in on the streams on at least once a week on Sunday for the What's in Your Portfolio live to answer any of your guys' questions, things like that, as well as I have a lot of content that's only going to be available on Patreon, like the exclusive interviews and things like that, that will only be on Patreon for you guys. So I do have two lined up. I got one more coming, so it's going to be a great series. I'm only going to try to do 10 episodes a year, or maybe I might cut that down to like 5 because I am pretty busy. But I'm going to try and do them at the end of every year. 5 prominent people in business that had a lot of great success I can share in all those fields. So we'll have to see where that goes. But thank you guys. Like and follow us on all platforms. We really appreciate it. Just look for Simply Investing. If you're looking for YouTube, it's Simply Investing 6638. Or if you're trying to find me on Patreon, it's Simply Investing with Bobby on Patreon. So thank you guys. Have a fun day. Stay safe out there. Respect the process. And I am going to catch you guys. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. So thank you guys. And we do this live every day. So thank you, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.